Thank you for checking in once again to Rob So Random. This video is straight up. We're going to be looking at Dillon Gabriel's scouting report, and we're going to be looking at Shedeur Sanders' scouting report. And I got a strong feeling when we're done, it's gonna leave you with a lot more questions, but it's gonna basically confirm everything you've been believing from the beginning. Conspiracy? Anybody who say it's not will have a hard time justifying this. So let's jump right into it. This is Dillon Gabriel's 2025 NFL Draft Scouting Report. I'm not gonna go through the whole report, but I'm gonna go through a lot of it just so you can get full context. I will say one thing. I am shocked when it comes to Shedeur Sanders scouting report because they were like dead honest, but we gonna get to that. So started from the top, right? No shortage of experience. Dude was in college 6 years, man. He was an all-time veteran. He was the veteran's veteran in college. No shortage of experience. Gabriel logged more than 2,300 dropbacks in college, helping him develop into a quick decision maker and processor. Supercomputer? Y'all, you already see where that whole supercomputer thing started to come from. Gabriel's size is a concern. His height, weight, hand length, arm length, and wingspan all placed in the 35th percentile or lower among quarterbacks. 2025 NFL draft season is here. That's basically a mock simulator. But as you can see down here, you take just a quick look at his draft grade, his PFF overall grade, 86.6, ninth, big time throw. That's going to be a big one. The big time throw percent, 3.2, 38. He was at the bottom when it came to big time throws. A lot of people like to say Shedeur Sanders was, he only got a high completion rate, but we gonna get into that. I'm sorry. We gonna get into that, but let's finish. Turnover worthy play, 1.6, fourth, awesome. Adjusted completion, 81.9%. Second, pressure to sack percent, 13.9%. Okay, not bad. PFF clean pocket grade in ninth, place ninth. All right. Under pressure grade, 12th, had a good squad around him. He had a good team around him. We're gonna go over some of his strength, okay? Gabriel's first college snap came in 2019. He has since logged more than 2,300 dropbacks. That simply means he has seen it all, which is evident in his excellent ball distribution. He's great in the RPO and quick passing game. Showing off quick decision making. That experience is also clear on the mental side. He does a great job of understanding defense and reading defenders' leverage to get the ball out on time. Gabriel can be very tough to bring down in the backfield. He is slippery in the pocket and tends to make defenders miss, leading to a top 15 pressure to sack rate this past season. Not only can he be effective avoiding those negative plays, but he's also a strong passer when scrambling. Gabriel earned a 67.4 PFF passing grade when forced to move out the pocket in 2024, ranking second in the draft class. He can quickly turn a potential negative play into a positive downfield shot, a success formula for someone of his size. All right, sound pretty good. Weakness, size. Gabriel measurables, height, weight, wingspan, head, hand size, etc., all are in the 35th percentile or lower among quarterbacks. That's quite a barrier to develop into a successful NFL signal caller. Now we talking about a different level of play, right? He was pretty good in college. We talking about a new level of play. He'll be at a significant disadvantage, and some teams may even be scared of drafting him. The good news for Gabriel is that players like Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and Bryce Young have proven that there is a path to success in the NFL despite being under 6 feet tall. Turn down open downfield passing options. This is where it gets to the nitty gritty. Gabriel averaged downfield passes in 2024 traveled about 7 yards, the seventh lowest mark in the FBS. That's the nature of Oregon's offense. In the season prior, Bo Nix, now with the Denver Broncos, had an average depth of target of 6.8. So that's just what Oregon do. The difference between Nix and Gabriel is that Nix took advantage of the downfield options. Gabriel big time throw rate was 3.2%, while Nix was 4.0%. Not a huge gap, but is significant when there were plenty of times Gabriel could have taken deep shots. You can go back, look at a lot of Oregon highlights. You will spot that really quick. He will wave off wide open people downfield. The difference between Nix and Gabriel is that Nix took advantage of downfield options. Gabriel big time throw rate was 3.2%, while Nix was at 4.0. It's not the largest gap, but it's significant when there were plenty of time Gabriel could have taken deep shots. And Gabriel was successful when he was throwing downfield too, but he just simply turned down too many opportunities, either because he hit his check down too early or didn't see them coming. On passing attempts of 20 yards or more, Gabriel earned an elite 94.7 PFL passing grade in 2024, the best figure in college football. The summary: Dillon Gabriel is an intriguing prospect with extensive college experience dating back to 2019. He was demonstrated excellent distribution skills. Whoop, whoop. We read all of that. Okay. However, his NFL potential is hampered by his size limitation. That size also led to Gabriel's conservative approach, as he frequently missed opportunities for big plays in 2024. For Gabriel to have a successful NFL career, he'll need to be in an offense that highlights quick decision making. Like I said earlier, Dillon Gabriel needs to be on a team with a bunch of Tyreek Hills. You can even tell when he's speaking in the press conference that he's expecting his wide receivers to be basically running backs. He wants them to catch these little 8-yard passes and take it downfield 60, 70 yards. You can tell that's what he wants. Like, he's actually said it, like, hopefully, one of the receivers can just, catch one coming across the field and bust it wide open. This is the NFL. A lot of people is pointing this out now because you do come across a lot of players that was just good in college, right? Good college quarterbacks. But this is the NFL. He has never been the type of quarterback that went after explosive plays. Dillon Gabriel needs great players around him. And it kind of sounds crazy, right? Because almost any quarterback will look good when you have like these great players around you. He's expecting too much of his receivers. That's why he's throwing so many headache balls. He's throwing hospital balls. And the fact that, you feel he didn't need development, the fact that you feel like that you felt that it was okay to start him without developing his downfield play, you set Dillon up for failure. Let's take a look at Shedeur Sanders, right? Let's take a look at Shedeur Sanders scouting report. 2025 draft, NFL draft scouting report, QB Shedeur Sanders. Sanders will bring excellent accuracy to the NFL. He finished 2024 in the third highest accuracy rate and the fifth lowest rate of uncatchable throws in the FBS. Elite accuracy. Constant pressure tends to hunt Sanders. He was forced to play under constant concern for pressure at Colorado, even when it wasn't there. It becomes mental at that point when you're getting sacked 40 times a season. And it led to him bailing out the Pikets early. They was actually really fair to him, like in this whole scouting report. That's what kind of shocked me as well. But hey, his PFF overall grade, a 90.9, ranked third, big time throw percent, 5.0, 14th, turnover worthy, 1.3%, third. That but don't really turn that ball over at all. Adjusted completion, 81.8, third. Pressure to sack rate, 20.1, 19th. The most sacked quarterback in college football, the worst offensive line in college football, still passed over 4,000 yards. PFF clean pocket grade, third. PFF under pressure grade, 8. Let's get to his strength, accuracy. Sanders' biggest strength is his accuracy. From ball placement to catchability. Those are traits that translate. I often try to explain to people. People always love to say, well, they wasn't playing against competition there. They wasn't playing against nobody. You have to understand what skill set translate. Your accuracy, ball placement doesn't change just because you're playing two different teams. That's a skill set that translate no matter who is on the other side of the field. Casuals don't understand that. They'll constantly say, well, he was only playing second round. The skill set doesn't matter who's on the other side. If your accuracy, you're going to be accurate no matter who's on the other side. He is among the best. PFF charts the ball placement on every throw made by college quarterbacks, and Sanders finished 2024 with the third highest accuracy rate and the fifth lowest rate of uncatchable throws in the FBS. He shows a great understanding of defenders' leverage and knows how to place the ball in tight coverage. Sanders also displays fantastic touch on deep throws. His 94.8 PFF passing grade on deep attempts, 20 plus yards, ranks fourth in this year's draft class. Avoiding turnovers. Sanders handled the most dropbacks under pressure in FBS. We all know that. Nearly 20 more than the second most. He was under constant pressure at Colorado, yet still avoided turnover. His 1.3 turnover percent worthy play percentage ranks third best among draft eligible quarterbacks. And that figure rises to only 2.5% on plays with pressure, placing 8th in the class. Sanders does a good job of not turning a bad play into a disaster. When quarterbacks are constantly under duress, they often panic, not Sanders. They often panic and throw for a safety. They often panic and just throw the ball to a blind spot, which we saw happen a few times against the Patriots. I keep on telling people when Shedeur Sanders had to hold the ball, it never cost them the game. They never lost the game in Colorado because he had to hold the ball too long. Shedeur Sanders was in a situation where it was no run game. Because if you don't have a good offensive line, you're not having a good run game either. Because the backs need gaps, they need lanes to run through. So if your line isn't up to par, you're going to suffer, whether it's the pass game or the run game. But Shedeur found a way to make it happen with the worst. That's why when we say he's battle tested, he came in the league ready to start. There is no other quarterback that was in this draft class that is more battle tested than Shedeur Sanders. High, high level play when in structure. When Sanders plays on time and with structure, he flashes high level processing. It led to the third highest clean pocket PFF passing grade among draft eligible quarterbacks. Colorado offense doesn't rely on a ton of RPOs and screens, instead asking Sanders to process a lot of pre and post snap. Although the Buffalo's offense line couldn't hold up enough to allow him to get through
The
his
time is
progressions,
4
when
o'clock
he did
p.m.
have time, he was excellent. Even when he didn't have time, he showed an ability to stand and deliver in a crowded pocket. Sanders' 86.9 PFF passing grade when under pressure with the time to throw under 2.5 seconds ranked third in college football this past season. That shows that he can trust what he sees from the defense and deliver despite a muddy pocket. You know what that tells a coach? It don't need to be perfect. It don't need to be perfect. We gonna make it work. We gonna make something shake. His weaknesses, velocity. While Sanders is a very accurate deep ball passer, his arm strength isn't elite. He lacks velocity, clearly visible on downfield passes that requires extra juice to beat closing windows. It causes some throws to be lighter than desired, and it could lead to potential problems in the NFL. When quarterbacks lack that certain zip on the ball, it forces them to be cleaner with their timing. Sanders was able to do that in college, but it remains to be seen if it can work against pros. Bailing from clean pockets. The biggest area of concern in Sanders' game is his pocket presence. There are a lot of caveats, though, because of his offensive line in Colorado. Sanders was the most pressure quarterback in the nation, and while a lot of it was on his offensive line, he had his fair share of responsibility in inviting pressure. He had the most quarterback faulted pressures and sacks of 2024. He was forced to play under constant concern for pressure. Even when it wasn't there, it led him to bailing out from clean pockets too early, taking sacks and not letting plays fully develop. There are too many plays of him looking to get out the pocket immediately, expecting pressure instead of staying in it. Sanders flashed NFL ability at Colorado, and that's much more impressive when considering the circumstances. He elevated the program to new heights. However, his lack of consistent protection makes it difficult to evaluate him. I've been saying that for the longest. We have yet to truly see what Shedeur Sanders can do. We have yet to really see his ceiling because he's always been under pressure. Could you imagine a Shedeur Sanders behind the UGA line? When he can stay on time, he's an efficient quarterback who is willing to take hits in the pocket to deliver a pass, but he far too often takes himself out of rhythm because he lacks the belief in his protection. right? That's no shot at Shedeur Sanders. I often say Shedeur Sanders was a victim of his circumstance, right? When you get beat on so much, you try to avoid that beat before it happens. So on some occasions where the line is holding a pocket, he's taking off because he just got hit 4 times prior. It's almost common sense at that point. Let me dip before I get slapped again. But they actually put all of that in his scouting report. I love how fair they was to Shedeur. Um, I haven't read through it like that, but I really, I really have a lot of questions myself because they was dead honest in the scouting report, and the coaches saw this. This is what the teams rely on when they go and draft these players. So, like I was saying, how this just opened up more questions than anything. What did you see from Dillon that made you think he was NFL ready over Shedeur Sanders? Mary Kate made a statement. Oh my goodness. Mary Kate Cappin made a statement. And in that statement, you know what she said? Well, they sit in Shedeur Sanders right now because he don't have enough experience with like an NFL style offense. Dillon Gabriel has a lot of experience with an NFL style offense.
And why do you think he's working at such a deficit the way that everybody talks about him?
Well, I think Andrew spelled it out very, very clearly in the preseason when he said for Shedeur, he was learning, going from English to Mandarin. He had a lot to learn in terms of how to run a pro offense. He didn't know how to articulate the plays and do all the things that Dillon already knew a lot of that pro style stuff. Shedeur didn't have to do a lot of that. And so he's had to learn it. And he's learning very.
Dillon already knew a lot of that pro style stuff. How you take somebody serious, they call it pro style stuff. What stuff, Mary Kate? What stuff? This man been around NFL athletes his entire life. He's been calling plays. He's been calling audible since he's been in middle school. You want us to believe that Hall of Fame Deion Sanders coach Prime did not prepare Shedeur Sanders to call pro style plays, knowing what his goal was to be in the NFL? Are you kidding me? I thank y'all for sticking around to the end of the video. If you watch this whole video, man, you better smash that sub because I appreciate the support. Until I see you again, thank you for checking out Rod So Random.